Let's make no mistake about it, we are here today to offer our support for the men and women of law enforcement, to stand behind them and their families and to understand them. And we acknowledge the military, the men and women, their service, their families. Today I'm going to talk because I'm a Republican. I'm going to talk about how important it is to have people like Parnell as our sheriff, Doc Anderson as our state representative, to have Republicans who stand for the ideals and principles just as I did and still do by growing up in Waco, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand that this country has been undergoing change for quite some time. A president ago, we had a man who talked about changing America, and people were unemployed, and our businesses were shut down and crippled and not given an opportunity to grow. And this country, when it saw a battle, a fight, those colors ran from it. They did not stand on behalf of freedom. And then we had a man come along called Donald J. Trump, who stood up and talked about that America, the colors that we believe in, should never run, that they should be foremost, and for the world to be safe, we would have to be a strong America. Make no mistake about it, when America is at its best, so is the world. The world is better because we have people who stand for principles and ideas, not just for the sanctity of life, not just for rule of law, but for an opportunity to stand up to tyranny and people who would take away our liberty. Yes, we know that there are those that disagree with us, and you can hear them even out here today. But what I want you to know is that you are here because you believe in America, the principles, the ideas, the values behind freedom and liberty, and a chance to make your family work in our community. Today we have a chance to stand up, however, and say that we see tyranny right in front of our eyes. And they say it has become popular to want to look at socialism. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just look at Cuba after 60 years. Look at Russia. Look at these places that have had communist dictators, and all the decisions are made by a few people, and the liberties of many go aside. So I ask you today to please know that just as those young football players did in Ohio, where they asked respectfully to carry the colors of our flag and were told no. Once the community found out, they overwhelmingly supported them. Amen. We do live in a world where we have to stand up and want to be counted. And that is what I promise I will do every time. And that is what the McLennan County Republican Party and its elected officials stand for. So, for those of you who are looking for what to be for, I want you to know, as an Eagle Scout, I've always tried to be for true north, for standing for matters and things that mattered, where other people could see, what direction are you going? What is the plan and how will we get there? If we follow the Constitution of the United States, if we believe in rule of law, if we stand up behind the judges, the elected officials who will say we will not let tyranny take the place of tranquility, then we will be great. I will end by saying this, because I think everybody saw this, but the terrible tragedy that happened in Pennsylvania this week, because a crazed man ran after a police officer and he defended himself properly. That night, the anarchists came out and virtually tried to destroy the city and the police station. That city decided that they were going to go arrest those 16 people. But unlike Minnesota, unlike Seattle, unlike Portland, unlike Austin, Texas, and too many other cities, that judge stood up properly and said, we will put a $1 million bond on each and every one of you. The judge did the judge's job, and guess what happened the next night? Nothing.
Amen.
The violence ended. Ladies and gentlemen, elected officials have a duty and a responsibility to stand up on behalf of you, the law-abiding people, the people who cannot stand for themselves. And I will tell you that as the son of an FBI director, I understand law enforcement, and I understand that. As the father of a Down syndrome son, I cherish life, even for what may be described as some of the lesser of us. Every single one of us have standing in God's eyes. And I want to quote Bill Johnson, every soul is important. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. Thank you for believing in the men and women of law enforcement. Thank you for believing that there can be elected officials who do stand up, who will take our side, who do understand what this is about. And ladies and gentlemen, as we go forth to get a new Supreme Court justice, I will guarantee you that will be a person who will understand not just the law, but the principles of understanding peace and opportunity. Thank you, and God bless you.